Okay, let's take an example which is from the cultural forces, okay, which is the cultural trends. Americans' culture for current trend is they becoming less interest in fitness and exercise. So it looks like the food and beverage industry find this trend give opportunity to their organization, which they can produce healthy food, while it will bring threat to the sporting goods industries such as the Nike or Reebok. Okay, so they will experiencing decline in sales growth. Another example in environmental forces, for example, pandemic. Pandemic can be categorized as environmental forces because of it occur globally, so it affect as many areas in all industries. So the environmental forces affect the social forces. People cannot meet face to face. So what firms or organization can gain opportunity from the situation? For example, we can say the telecommunication industries as the internet and telecommunication consuming increasing, as well as the online buying. So this company will compete to offer the best services to the customer. Alright, so the next one is the political, governmental, and legal forces. Alright, so it consists of the federal, the state, local, and foreign governments. Yang mana they are the major regulators, okay, pembuat undang-undang. They also can remove the regulations, they can amend, or they can change the regulations. They also the subsidizers, pemberi subsidi, okay, and they are also employer or customer of organizations. Right, so political, governmental, and legal factors therefore can represent key opportunities or threat for both small and large organizations. So they can change, for example, in patent laws, the tax rates and lobbying activities that can affect the firms significantly. All right. So another example to highlight is the relationship between countries that can affect the trends of economies and markets globally. Political relations between Japan and China. Alright, so the relationship have taught considerably in recent years, which is good for the world economy because of the China's low-cost manufactured goods have become important for the functioning of most industrialized nations. And the local, state, and federal laws, the regulatory agencies, and special interest groups can have a major impact on the strategies of a small, large, for-profit and non-profit organizations. So many companies have altered or abandoned strategies in the past because of the political or governmental actions. So due to the environmental forces, which is the pandemic, the government have to take actions, which give threats to the most of the industrial nations. So the organizations have to take action to survive these threats. So one of the strategic plan is they have to terminate lots of their employees to keep their existence in the industries. Some of organization already lose the war. For example, lots of hotel already closed for business due to this MCO because of the virus pandemic. Okay, and then we can have another example in the academic world. Okay, academic world, as state budgets have dropped in recent years, same goes to the support for college and universities. So due to the decline in money received from the state, many institutions of higher learning are doing more fundraising on their own. For example, they naming the buildings and classroom. Okay, so the organization can collect the political, government, and legal forces data or information from such as laws, regulations, judicial decision, political forces, taxation, minimum wage rate, product labeling, and safety laws in federal, state, or local government. So when we have the operations of our organization, branches, franchises, or factories at other country, we call the country as host country. So it's important to consider the host country's political and legal sector, not just our country or home country political and legal forces. Please bear in mind that the organization must follow the rules, regulations, and laws of the host country as we operate our organization at other jurisdiction or other country. Okay, next is the technological forces. So the technological changes and discoveries are having a dramatic impact on organizations. We can take an example of Nokia company, which is a mobile phone product. So because of the fast changing in technology, Nokia cannot compete with its rival, which already discovered the new technologies for their product that meets the consumer demand. So as a result, Nokia was a lead company in the mobile phone industry. They dropped down immediately. Okay, and then technological forces also, it can increase the speed of distribution, the production or mass production by using the latest manufacturing machine in the factory. It also can erase the limitations of traditional geographic markets and more flexible. So dengan wujudnya platform seperti Lazada dan Shopee. So orang sekarang boleh beli barang yang luar dari Malaysia dengan harga yang lebih murah. As for the company, they can widen their geographical markets. Okay, and then the internet is altering the economies of scale, changing the entry barriers and redefining the relationship between industries and various suppliers, creditors, customers, and also the competitors. Okay, that is what technology can do to an organizations. Alright, so untuk collect data in the technological sector, it can be based on R&D, research and development, organizational work processes, and computerization, which is under the scientific and technological innovation. Alright, so let us discuss about the opportunities and threats from technological forces. We can take the example of Motorola mobile phones and PDA. PDA stand for Personal Digital Assistant. So kalau dulu, mobile phone hanya boleh digunakan untuk call dan hantar mesej sahaja. PDA ni adalah another device atau device yang berasingan yang boleh merekodkan dan menguruskan data pribadi. So there were companies that produce the PDAs. So in terms of technological forces, Motorola company have the opportunities which they can produce a higher margin product packed with features of both PDAs and mobile phones in a single device. So existing users mesti akan attract. Bila kalau sebelum ni, mobile phone dan PDA adalah device yang berasingan, it have been combined in a single device. Okay, so it will be a threat to PDA device producers such as Palm. Okay, Palm is a brand of PDA. So the consumer won't buy their device because of the existence of Motorola product tadi. So how they find this? How the company find the solution to this threat? So they can force either compete directly with Motorola by come up with a better PDAs, much more, let's say, user-friendly than Motorola does, or they can cooperate with mobile phone organization through licensing or joint venture. So dia boleh approach another mobile phone brand untuk buat macam yang Motorola buat. Okay, tapi dia punya device dalam phone tu ada jenama Palm tadi lah. Alright. Okay, next, this will be the last key external forces in the external assessment. So for organizations, it's important to know who are their competitors in the market and industry. They must identify their strengths, weaknesses, capabilities, opportunities, threats, objectives, and also the strategies. So collecting and evaluating information on competitors is essential for successful strategy formulation. Identify major competitors is not always easy because many firms have divisions that compete in different industries. Okay, for example, like Coca-Cola Holdings, they have division firms. Ada banyak jenis company yang lain. Okay, under Coca-Cola, which is like Dasani. Dasani adalah mineral water. Okay, mereka juga memiliki Minute Maid, which is a juice drink, vitamin water, Fanta, and so on. So it is quite difficult to identify the SWOT and strategies. So many multi-divisional firms do not provide sales and profit information on a divisional basis for competitive reasons. Also, the private company, they do not publish any financial or marketing information. So it depends on how your organization collecting the data of your competitor, which is essential to perform the external audit. And competition in almost all industries can be described as intense. Okay, for example, most automobile dealership, okay, dua kereta, they are located close to each other, right? So it is considered as a strategic plan for the firms because you are better off being right next to a competitor, splitting up the potential customers, than risking the competitor having all of the advantage from a location, right? So how exactly to gain data or information about the competitors when they do not provide their information publicly? So here is the function of competitive intelligence programs, or we can say as CI. Okay, CI programs. It is a systematic and ethical process of gathering and analyzing information about the competition's activities and general business trends to further a business own goals. So we highlight the word of systematic and ethical. You cannot simply send a spy to snoop in other company to gain the essential information. So that is considered as illegal. There is a case of where a hotel sued another hotel for stealing their confidential documents. It happened where two of the, let's say Hotel A employees, they resign and then they join up to the other hotel and they bring together with them the information. So it's considered as information stealing and they can be charged by laws relating to the breach of confidential documents. Alright, so how exactly the competitive intelligence program running? So there are three basic objectives in CI program. The first one is to provide a general understanding of an industry and its competitors. So for example, if your organization is, let's say, BMW Holdings, so you need to identify and provide the general understanding towards your competitors in your circle, which means the competitors have the identical target market, mission and objective as your company. So one of the simplest way to gain the general information of the competitors is from official website. Right? So every company nowadays will have a website as a medium to interact with their potential customers and to provide the general information of the company. So which means it's a public information of the organization. And second, to identify areas in which competitors are vulnerable and to assess the impact strategies actions would have on competitors. So it means in which area that the competitor seems to be weak and vulnerable based on your observation, statistics, and also figures. So their weaknesses can be your opportunities. Alright, and then the third one, to identify potential moves that a competitor might make that would endanger a firm position in the market. So it's like your organization may take a potential risk move that a competitor would not do. Okay, dia tak berani nak ambil risiko tapi your company observe that as an opportunity, so you take the risk. Okay, that the competitor won't do it.